Shortly, the Chancellor, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the National Anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Budjuri Miriga Nalawa. Good afternoon and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this afternoon. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter Bulgari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired knowledge to lobby and eventually secure some land for herself and her people out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or sharing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no armies, no rents, no mortgages, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands are maintained in their natural state with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So do understand, this is not a dream or an ideal. This is normal life for us and for the longest time. And there's little reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and we are naturally and normally a very happy people. I would ask that you share your gifts with the rest of us, though, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that we can together again put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and one that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, first I want to thank all of you for coming. A graduation ceremony is a very important celebration of achievement. The achievement, of course, of our graduands, but also of the university. So it's very good that you're here, and I'm very grateful that you are. I also want to especially thank those of you who have brought children with you. It's good for them that they're here because their memories of today and of the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate the successes of today's graduands. And their presence is good for us too, because every celebration is enhanced by the presence of children. Now, unless children have changed enormously since I was a tiny tot, few of them will be able to stay quiet or still for the duration of the ceremony. And I don't expect them to, I don't want them to, and I don't want parents to worry if they don't. They are most welcome, and please let them run around and make as much commotion as they like. And I know we've got at least one little baby here, we've probably got more. Babies are entitled to cry, And we've discovered the louder they cry during a graduation ceremony, the more certain it is that they'll be back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So it's to be encouraged, not discouraged. And please don't think you have to take them outside. We've all put up with more than the sound of babies crying. Now, the most important thing today is that our graduands have a great day. And you will have a great day if you're relaxed. Many of you look relaxed, but some of you look as though you look so nervous that you think you're going into the exam room rather than collecting your degrees. Truly, nothing can go... Well, no, that's not quite right. Things can go. Sometimes people come up here and trip, and they fall over. And that actually is why we've got all these people highly paid and highly trained to pick you up and send you on your way if you happen to trip and fall. So please just relax. Nothing can go wrong. And have a great day. You deserve to take pride, great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to congratulate all of you who are here today as the guests of our graduands. Because if you think about it for just a moment, the fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role, because I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, Macquarie, of course, is not one of them. We're only a very young university. We celebrated our 50th Jubilee only 4 years ago. We proudly take our name from Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie, a man whose greatness and achievements were never acknowledged by his contemporaries, but only by history. Those of us who went to school in New South Wales were taught that Macquarie was a great builder, and indeed he was. But his greatest legacy had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. His greatest legacy was the ethos he established, much to the annoyance of the then British authorities, of an egalitarian society. Because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony there be no distinction between the free and the freed that was the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And that is a legacy that here at Macquarie we will always aim to maintain and honour. After our first 54 years, we now have more than 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries. Actually, that figure is now out of date. That was 184,000 at the beginning of this current graduation season just over 2 weeks ago. We're now probably around the 190,000 mark. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're now ranked in the top 2% of the world's universities. From our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We have pioneered and continue to pioneer learning and teaching approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn. We're also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research with world-changing impact, is brought to life by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. And by the way, that's not an idle boast. I'm sure everyone in this room at some stage benefits from the use of Wi-Fi. I wonder how many of you, though, knew that Wi-Fi was developed not at Harvard University or Stanford or Oxford or Cambridge or even Sydney or the ANU. No, Wi-Fi was the work of Macquarie University engineers and scientists in conjunction with scientists from the CSIRO. Now, I think that's something that both Australia and Macquarie can be justifiably proud of. And the research that is currently underway at Macquarie is no less significant. I'm sure all of you will be aware of the very recent death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and a marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neurone disease, and I'm very proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences is at the forefront. In fact, I think it's fair to say we are the Australian leader in helping to find a cure for that dreadful disease. And in fact, we have countless research projects underway at Macquarie, all of which have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We're also proud of some of our new or relatively new facilities, including our Australian Hearing Hub, our library and our hospital. We are the only university in Australia which owns and operates its own hospital. But we have a lot more to do to make sure that all of our facilities and buildings are fit for purpose. That's why when you arrived here today, you may have thought for a moment that you were visiting a war zone. The big hole in the ground just behind me is the site of our new central courtyard, which will house new food and beverage facilities, other social and study areas, as well as on-campus student accommodation. A little further away, our arts faculty building, one of our oldest, has been completely gutted and will be replaced by a new arts precinct, which will also include new spaces for our superb museums and galleries. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. Here at Macquarie, we have a very clear and straightforward mission, and that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people all around the globe, by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Now, graduands and ladies and gentlemen, it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Professor Eric Reichel. Eric was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in the United States. He served in the United States Marine Corps before earning a Bachelor of Science in Psychology at Iowa State University and then a Master of Science and a PhD in Cognitive Philosophy at the University of Massachusetts. He has worked at Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Pittsburgh, and prior to last August was Professor and Head of the Psychology Department at the University of Southampton. He currently holds both of these titles here at Macquarie. I now invite Eric to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Eric Reichel.
Chancellor, Dean, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduands, and their families and friends, thank you for the opportunity to speak at today's ceremony. It's an honor to be here to help celebrate your remarkable achievements. Please allow me to begin by offering my congratulations to all of you. The fact that you're here today speaks volumes about your scholastic aptitude, your hard work and determination, and your commitment to bettering yourself and the world that you're a part of. You have much to be proud of. The significance of today's ceremony certainly wasn't lost on me when I was first asked to give this talk. I was initially reluctant because I've never given a talk like this before, and I really didn't think I'd have much of interest to say, let alone any sage advice to offer. And so before I agreed to give this talk, I consulted with my department manager, Avril Moss, about the graduation ceremony and what would actually be expected of me as the occasional speaker. As always, Avril put everything into perspective. She basically said, Eric, you go in there, tell them about some of the mistakes you've made in your life so they'll see how confused you actually were. And then when they see that you've turned out reasonably well, they'll feel really optimistic about their own futures. So that's what I'm going to do today. As mentioned when I was introduced, my first career was in the military as an infantry rifleman in the United States Marine Corps. I enjoyed my experiences there, and I learned a lot about myself, including the realization that I wanted to do more with my life than be in the military. So after my time was up, I enrolled at Iowa State University to study biology. But I wasn't a very good student, and after 2 years of tortuous study, I decided that after one more semester, I'd drop out with enough university credits to become an officer, and that I'd then enroll in flight school and become a Marine Corps aviator. But as fortune would have it, that next semester completely changed my life because of one instructor, Professor Ron Peters. Ron taught a course on brain and behavior, and the questions that he raised in his lectures about who we are and what it means to be self-aware, thinking beings made me realize that I had found my calling in life, that I also wanted to become a psychology professor and to devote my life to studying the human mind. With that new insight, I immediately changed my major from biology to psychology and renewed my studies, but this time in earnest. And after 2 more years of hard work, I was lucky enough to be admitted into a PhD program at the University of Massachusetts to study cognitive psychology, the branch of psychology that tries to understand how basic mental processes like vision, attention, memory, and language work. I worked really hard in graduate school and very early on became interested in computer and mathematical models of cognitive processes. It was this interest and a developing expertise in artificial neural networks that attracted the attention of Professor Keith Rayner, who prior to his recent passing was one of the world's leading experts on the psychology of reading. Keith asked me to collaborate with him to develop a computer model of reading that simulates the mental processes that are engaged during reading and that produce the patterns of eye movements that can be observed when someone, like me standing here now, is reading text. At the time, I only had a vague appreciation for how fortuitous this collaboration would be. But standing here now, 24 years later, I can tell you that no other single opportunity would be as important to my career as my collaboration with Keith, and that our work together laid the foundation for more than 80 research publications and a soon-to-be published book on computer models of reading. So why am I sharing all of this with you today? As I think my own particular life experiences illustrate, one can only do so much planning in life, and one of the essential skills for being successful in whatever you might end up doing is the capacity to both recognize and take advantage of good opportunities that come along. In my particular case, those opportunities took the form of mentors, Ron Peters and Keith Rayner, 2 men who profoundly changed my life by giving it a purpose. Of course, I also want to be clear that such important opportunities are not always life-changing. nor are they limited to careers. They instead happen almost every day with the people you might meet, decisions about how to spend your time, and so on. And please also bear in mind that it's often difficult to know when some opportunity or experience might bear fruit. The best example I can give to illustrate this point is how, unknown to me 30 years ago, my experiences in the military gave me much of the leadership skills that I now use almost every day in running the psychology department. So as you leave here today to start the next chapter of your lives, the advice that I'm going to give you is to go out and live your lives with a spirit of adventure, but always keep at least one eye open for opportunities that might change your lives for the better. And remember that it's impossible to predict how you might use what you learn now in the future. So never assume that time spent learning is time wasted. I wish you all the very best of luck and sincerely hope that you take what you've learned from your time here at Macquarie University, including both your knowledge of psychology and your critical thinking and communication skills, to live happy lives and to do your part in making the world a better place. And thank you once again for the opportunity to speak with you here today.
Well, I'm sure you'll agree that was an outstanding occasional address, and Professor Reichel did tell a little fib, because this was not the first time he's given an occasional address at Macquarie University. The first time was 2 days ago, and he did so well then that I insisted he come back today. Now, that doesn't often happen. In fact, he's the only person I know we've invited back to give an occasional address twice in the one graduation season. So congratulations, Professor Reichel. I think we're very fortunate that he's joined Macquarie University with a very interesting career behind him. And of course, the point he makes is absolutely valid. You never know where life will take you, where your career will take you, or life generally. And what you think now is your path for life. In almost every case, you will find that it takes a different direction, and you have to be alert to the opportunities that come along and make sure when a good opportunity does come, you don't hesitate to take the chance. I think Eric deserves another great round of applause. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's nothing for you to be nervous about, but we now come to the key part of the ceremony, the reason we're here, and that's the conferring of degrees. And this is the one part of the ceremony that makes me just a little bit nervous, because I was told many years ago that if I conferred a degree on someone who was not entitled to receive it, it was very, very, very difficult for me to take it back. So I have to make absolutely certain that each and every one of you is qualified to graduate this afternoon, and that none of you ever skipped a class or were late in submitting an assignment. I'm going to ask the Registrar, Gail White, to give me those ironclad assurances. Gail.
Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today, and those who are absent, have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Well, graduates, as Chancellor of Macquarie University, hang on, got the wrong. Where's my script? Well, something has gone wrong. Let me just say that in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences, and I call on Professor Simon Handley, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences, to present the graduates. Professor Handley.
Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences. Our faculty hosts a unique combination of disciplines connected by the common purpose of building an understanding of what it means to be human. Our departments of educational studies, psychology, cognitive science, and linguistics offer innovative and interdisciplinary teaching programs and research strengths in learning, behaviour, mind, and language. We aspire to develop a deeper understanding of the human experience and deliver graduates with highly developed professional and personal skills. One of our core strengths is in psychology and cognitive sciences, a world-leading discipline in the top 100 of the recent QS subject world rankings. We have globally leading expertise across multiple areas, including child development, emotional health, reading and communication, vision, action, and elite performance. The translation of our research and the experience of our students is facilitated through our on-site clinics for psychology, emotional health, and reading, which are housed in the Australian Hearing Hub. The Hub brings together some of the best researchers, educators, and service providers from industry, government, and academia, making a difference to people's lives through the delivery of services informed by leading research and expertise. Our students, researchers, and clinicians are genuinely transforming the lives of individuals, communities, and societies. Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with the Bachelor of Education, Primary. Sarah Al-Seblani. Caitlin Elizabeth Ball. Veronica Man Yi Chu. Jacinta Erin Faruja. Tina Hazel. Caleb Yarom Hobby. Catherine Homsey. Caitlin Jackson. Angela Calliope. Claudia Rose Olds. Demelza Elizabeth Papas. Lakshmi Prithviraj. Julie Chi. Carly Sarah Saba. Diana Santoro. Christine Sharji. Daniel Vogels. Julia Kate Watson. Ariella Viner. Rebecca Lynn Woodbury. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with the Bachelor of Health. Samantha Clifford. Alexandra Maguire. Caitlin Toohey. Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with the Bachelor of Human Sciences, Hannah Cahill. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with a Diploma of Education, Elaf Aldahesh. Lena Bakker. Jesse Max Evans de Paulo. Taylor Jones. Jenna Resnick. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology, Ethan Matz Age. Victoria Naomi Andrews. Liam Attard. Diane Frances Bonavie. Brittany Jade Brown. Jackie Anita Bryant de Winter. Carney Ray Bythe. Jenna Cartwright. Delaney Chun Hei Chow. Rupert Zvonimir Siryak. Inez Lily Morrow Coultan. Heidi Cullen. Yasara Luzni Disanayaki. Lisa Fountain. Rachel Gabriel. Noemi Genoa. Caitlin Gill. Anisha Yana Kumar. Travis Michael Grogan. Larissa Doritz Grote. Razel Guerra. Aoife Jane Hogan Keane. Emily Lowry. Christina Maggio. Charlotte Grace Manny. Madison Marsh. Georgia Nicole McIntyre. Lachlan McGrath. Manisha Meenakshi Mishra. Theodora Peter Morkos. Rebecca Perry. Amelia Catherine Poole. Delaney Darlene Potter. Divya Prabhat Krishnan. Stacey Jane Prakash. Nathan Felice William Princey. Jennifer Puth. Amanda Saloom. Evan Sandev. Bianca Scalone. Jordan Matthew Sharp. Zoe Sparnos. Micah Gregory Street. Jordan Tarlington. Joanna Thornley. Anna Maria Tomasi. Matthew Kart Sun Tong. Isha Verma. Samuel Warren. Naja Regina Wibowo. Katie Ailey Rose Williamson. Yuet Kwan Crystal Wu. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science, Psychology. Simran Agarwal. Sven Anderlon. Caitlin Nicole Antone. Georgia May Ashworth. Emily Blatchford. Annalisa Brown. Michaela Joy Clark. Jessica Coe. Jessica May Crampton. Stephanie Crystal Page Airette. Michael Hazelton. Daniel Herr. Sophie Ann Kathleen Inwood. Brendan Jayaram. Isabella Jeffrey. Chantel Rose Kirk. Alexandra Capagna. Courtney Bonnie Jill Kovach. Benjamin Ivor Layton. Yuvti Luchman. Courtney Miller. Jason Craig Mumford. Min Tu Nguyen. Eugenie Oak. Jihi Vivian Pian. Kaylee Simmons. Melina Skenzos. Emma Stewart. Leanne Lydia Tarn. Brianna Tui. Erin Louise Tuvey. Eden Trevitt. Courtney Wadey. Zoe Simone Williams. Claudia Isabella Antoinette Monique Dorachini. Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research with Distinction and the University Medal for Psychology, Carla Sullivan Myers, for a thesis entitled Enhancing Self-Care, Self-Efficacy and Symptom Experience of Women with Breast Cancer-Related Lymphedema, piloting the web-based LISCA intervention. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Andres Nicholas Enriquez, for a thesis entitled People Do Not Empathise and Help Others based on Facial Resemblance. Miriam Petra, for a thesis entitled Explanatory Framework for Wellbeing Theories, Systematic, Comprehensive, Persistent. Sarah Virginia Ramdu, for a thesis entitled Characterisation of Music, Photo and Object-Evoked Autobiographical Memories in Healthy Elderly People. Hannah Esther Rappaport, for a thesis entitled The Influence of the Laboratory Environment on the Measurement of Language Lateralization. Andrea Ophelia Salinch, for a thesis entitled Orthographic Facilitation of Vocabulary Learning in Children with Hearing Loss. Veronica Shayanodar, for a thesis entitled Victims of Cyberbullying, an examination of social cognitive processes associated with cyber victimization. Jessica Yue Ming Shern, for a thesis entitled Physiology in Anxious Children, a systematic review and empirical thesis. Amy Slade, for a thesis entitled An Investigation of Empathy Among Fans and Non-Fans of Violent Music. Emma Louise Descartes, for a thesis entitled Stories and Gesture, Redundant and Non-Redundant Gesture Use in Narrative Comprehension. Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Corey James Bill, for a thesis entitled Children Take Only Some Sentences Literally, Investigating Children's Variable Performance with Scalar Inferences. Dr. Anne Jill Carrigan, for a thesis entitled Expertise in Visual Search of Medical and Non-Medical Images. Dr. Yi Pu, for a thesis entitled human hippocampal theta and high gamma oscillations in spatial encoding and consolidation in a virtual Morris water maze task. Dr. Kellyanne Rombo for a thesis entitled Investigations of Syntactic Knowledge in Question Structures in Children with Specific Language Impairment. Dr. Varna Kirsten Webster for a thesis entitled Collaborative Memory, the Role of Closeness, Cognitive Need and Strategies. Chancellor, I present the graduate from the Faculty of Business and Economics, admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Finance, Stephen Wangsar. Chancellor, I present the graduate from the Faculty of Science and Engineering, admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Medical Sciences, Jaylin Rachel Collett. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences.
Chancellor, I call on Dr. Corey Bill, who has graduated this afternoon with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Bill.
Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. I started my time at Macquarie in 2008 when I enrolled in a Bachelor of Arts. I did not imagine at that time that I would be standing here now, 10 years later, having just graduated with a PhD. I would like to congratulate all the graduates here on their achievements today. I would also like to thank my friends and family, as well as my tutors, lecturers, and supervisors, and of course my wife. They are all a part of the reason I'm here today, and I imagine all the other graduates feel the same way. Every stage of life leaves its mark on you. However, education, and especially an education in the sciences, can leave a particularly deep impression. A core component of the scientific method is the commitment to being open to changing one's beliefs on the basis of new evidence. You might view this idea as not particularly radical. In fact, I imagine it would be difficult for me to find anyone who would disagree with it. However, while they might agree with it in principle, people seem to struggle to put it into practice. It often seems like people want their perceptions of reality to be fixed, even if it means they are less accurate. I was once hopeful that the internet might be a positive force for rational belief change by increasing people's access to information. This is a belief I no longer hold. First and foremost, the potential of this tool seems to be critically undermined by people's tendency to only seek out information that supports the beliefs they would prefer to be true. This is one of the reasons I take science's explicit commitment to changing beliefs when faced with sufficient evidence to be one of its most radical ideas. If not in principle, certainly in practice. Science, of course, does not always live up to this benchmark itself. There are plenty of examples of scientists holding on to theories despite overwhelming counter-evidence. However, the centrality of this principle in the philosophical bedrock of science means that it is more frequently and consistently applied there than in other traditions attempting to explain reality. I hope that at some point in your university life, each of the graduates here has had the experience of giving up or changing a belief in the light of new evidence. At the very least, I hope you gave up the idea that you had any chance at all of getting parking near your lecture theatre after 10 a.m. in the morning. We are all now facing a period of transition, whether into the workforce, further study, or some other endeavour. Wherever you end up, I would encourage you to take with you a commitment to aligning your beliefs with the evidence. We need more people committed to this idea, and not just in principle, but also in practice. And on that note, I want to congratulate you all again on what you have achieved, and wish you all the best as you move into the next stage of your lives. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Corey, on your PhD, but also on your speech. And I think that was good advice. Just focus on the next step or two. Now, you can, if you like, try to plan the rest of your life, but I can tell you the plan will go astray very, very quickly, and that's a good thing too. You'll find all sorts of opportunities that will come your way, and you have to be alert to them. And I think Corey makes a very good point. We've all got to be willing to change our mind when the evidence says we should. I think Corey deserves another great round of applause. Well, now, that wasn't too bad, was it? That glorious voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer. And Angela sings at most of our graduations, but sometimes, unfortunately, she can't make it for one reason or another. So you were fortunate that today was one of the days when she could make it, because when Angela can't come, I do the singing. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. I think Angela deserves another great round of applause. And our organist, Dr. James Forsyth, also plays at all of our graduations, and our flutist, Dr. Chai Chang Ning, at most of them. So I think Chai and James deserve a great round of applause. And so too do our alumni volunteers, who do a great job here at Macquarie University. Some of them are sitting over there and some are over there, and they come along to make sure that everything goes smoothly at your graduation. Please join me in thanking them as well. And sitting behind me are representatives of our academic community who, of course, have been absolutely vital in your journey here at Macquarie. I'm sure you'd like to thank them as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last of 29 graduation ceremonies in this April graduation season, which has taken place over the last 2.5 weeks. 29 ceremonies in 2.5 weeks. And I can assure you that our graduation unit does an absolutely fabulous job, as no doubt you've seen. So I'd like to thank the graduation unit, and particularly Ken Wong, who's been leading the unit during this season. Please join me in thanking them as well. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of over, well, now almost 190,000 Macquarie alumni spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And graduates, please do make sure to come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, attend alumni events, or use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if the mood takes you, just to enjoy a stroll through our lovely campus, or even enjoy a picnic down by the lake. Well, now, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the benefit of the world we all live in. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are with you this afternoon to help you celebrate. So, to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things. Graduates, would you now please stand? Now I'd like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And now I'd like you to turn to face your families and your friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, graduates can turn around now, but don't sit down. We'll be leaving in just a moment, but don't forget to take your degree with you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, shortly I will lead the official party out through the centre aisle, and we will be followed by all of the graduates. I will then invite all of you to join the procession down through the centre aisle, out through the campus and down to the Macquarie, where I hope you'll all stay and enjoy some light refreshments with us. We have some lovely refreshments for adults and even better ones for the children. We have pink lemonade, ice creams and fairy floss. And they're not restricted to the children either. They're available to everyone up to and exceeding my age, so please enjoy them. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all now please stand? Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.